What's going on, guys? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to talk about the recent Jamahal Hill and Alex Pereira altercation ahead of UFC 310 at the UFC PI in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Alex Pereira was training over there, and Jamahal Hill came up to him and said a lot of different stuff, like he's going to go to sleep, he doesn't want this fight, he's running from him, and genuinely, Alex Pereira was not backing down from any little bit of it. So I kind of want to talk about what inspired during that kind of little breakup session during their training sessions at the PI, and of why Jamahal Hill is just absolutely ridiculous right now, because he has an upcoming fight with Jiří Procházka going down at UFC 311. I'm assuming it's the featured bout on that card, and genuinely, Jiří is a very tough opponent, even if he's got KO'd 2 out of his last 3 fights by Alex Pereira in both of them. But truly, Jamahal Hill's got to stay focused. Alex Pereira, we all know, is the UFC light heavyweight champion for a reason. I know Jamahal Hill is hungrier than ever for that rematch, and I know if he beats Jiří, he is calling him out 100%. But if you guys enjoy the UFC content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the best way to help the channel grow. And while you're down there, please turn on the post notifications, just so you guys can always be notified about future UFC content releasing. But without further ado, let's break down the Jamahal Hill versus Alex Pereira beef slash kind of stuff going on inside the UFC PI. So today at the UFC PI Performance Institute, that stands for in Las Vegas, Nevada, Alex Pereira was there training, and all of a sudden, Mr. Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill came up to him. As we all know, these guys fought in the headliner of UFC 300, and the video kind of isn't conducive to really receiving audio from these two individuals. You could hear them kind of jawing back and forth, especially with Alex Pereira speaking in Portuguese and Jamahal Hill speaking in English. It's really hard to hear the conversation between the two, but it kind of went like this. Jamahal Hill walked over to Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira went to go dap him up, and Jamahal Hill kind of touched his glove in a very nonchalant way. Furthermore, Alex Pereira then, it cut to him throwing a pair of boxing gloves at Jamahal Hill, kind of tossing them at his feet, possibly to say, let's go right here, right now, and let's fight. Jamahal Hill then started taking up his tone. Coach Paulito Cruz, that is Alex Pereira's coach, had to get in between them, said, boys, stop fight, let's make money, let's not do anything crazy right now. But Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill had to be separated at the UFC PI by Paulito Cruz. Now, this is an absolutely crazy thing, because as we all know, Alex Pereira is a very humble champion. He kind of doesn't go in there with the intent to really hurt anyone, besides kind of doing it for the money. But I don't think Alex Pereira at all likes Jamahal Hill. I think Alex Pereira respects Hill. You know, stepping in to fight anyone, you got to have some sort of respect for him. But I genuinely think Alex Pereira thinks that Jamahal Hill is privileged. He's got a lot of different things going on, and that he is just taking this way out of control in a lot of different contexts. But really, does Jamahal Hill want to die? Because that's the question I'm asking here. Because in the last fight, I know there was a lot of different things going on. Herb Dean got in the way, blah, 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 this and that. But Jamahal Hill got absolutely dropped by that left shovel hook from Alex Pereira in like the 3rd or 4th minute of the first round. That actually sent Jamahal Hill's eyes back into his head, obviously showing that he was knocked out there, whether he likes to admit it or not. And Alex Pereira wailed on him as he was laying there on the ground. And then Pereira had to go in and obviously, hit him with the what is going on here, which was a meme for the rest of the year. But obviously, these two do not like each other at all. And I look at Jamahal Hill, and this is not the way to get the fight. I understand it's going to only bring more eyes to the fight. And yes, it could be for the organization to bring the fight, but I don't know about Pereira. Pereira is going to probably fight Magomed Ankalaev in his next one, and then possibly Jamahal Hill if he can go out there and beat Jiří Procházka. But what I'm taking from this entire experience, minus Pereira, Jamahal Hill is not focusing on Jiří, and that is an incredibly dangerous thing to do. I understand that Jamahal Hill is training with people like Anthony Smith now. He's got a great relationship with him, but really, Jiří Procházka is a different animal. Jiří has beaten every single person inside the UFC except Alex Pereira, and the only person to beat Pereira in the organization is Israel Adesanya with a very good strike at 185. Now, you could say a lot of different things. Adesanya is, I don't think that was the best way to show how good Alex Pereira is, because I think he was so depleted from his chin being knocked down. But as we all know, Izzy is one of the best counterpunchers in UFC history, so he was able to get, I shouldn't say a lucky knockout, but a lot easier than someone like him at light heavyweight, because Pereira was absorbing so many more stronger and more powerful shots from Cooley Roundtree Jr. than that shot that Izzy hit him to knock him out. But ultimately, Jamahal Hill right now is absolutely incredibly slow by making this with Alex Pereira, because I think Alex Pereira is going to go out there and destroy Jamahal Hill more better than the first time they fought. Alex Pereira, whenever he fights a little bit of awkward styles, it takes him a minute to kind of get in there and, be able to process it, as everyone. But the reason Jiří Procházka only got dismantled further by Pereira is he's had a round and a half in there with him. The biggest thing is if Jiří Procházka can fight an opponent that he's never seen before, that unorthodox style gives him such an advantage. But once you go for a rematch, it's super hard to have that unorthodox style and your opponent not be prepared for it. I see Jamahal Hill and I see Alex Pereira. It's an absolute banger of a fight. Don't get me wrong. Like the first fight, incredible. To see these two guys strike with one another, they have knockout power each. And Jamahal Hill is a UFC champion, whether you like to admit it or not. He beat Glover Teixeira in Brazil, UFC 283. An incredible performance. Jamahal Hill, I think, landed the most significant strikes in UFC light heavyweight history in that fight. But Jamahal Hill is going up against a different beast in Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is on a 4-fight knockout streak. And the only fight that he has won, not by knockout inside the heavyweight division, but as one of the most toughest grapplers in Jan Blachowicz, who he outstruck and was able to outlast and not get submitted in multiple different attempts. You know, I see how good Alex Pereira is in the well-rounded category, and I understand of how good of a guy he is, doing a bunch of different things, finally getting back in training to possibly face Ankalaev and whoever is going to be next. But Pereira versus Hill is getting heated. It's going to be an incredible fight to see. It's going to be something incredible to really be able to watch. But Jamahal Hill is going to regret doing every little thing of this. I think Jamahal Hill regrets doing the thing at UFC 300 where he kind of took the Easter Island head, the meme, Alex Pereira meme face, and, you know, put blood dripping down his nose and chucking it and saying some crazy stuff to Alex Pereira. I know Jamahal Hill is incredibly passionate, but one guy you don't mess with is Alex Pereira. And I think Alex Pereira is going to go in there and want to annihilate Jamahal Hill. Now, this could be a strategy to get in Pereira's head, have him overconfident and have him emotional in this fight. But I think Alex Pereira is an incredible veteran. You look at all those Adesanya fights that he had, especially the third one that was taking place in the UFC, or the first fight in total in the UFC, where he was able to outlast Adesanya in a lot of different categories. But truly, that is an absolute banger of a fight I cannot wait to watch, and a fight that I genuinely think Jamahal Hill would get absolutely annihilated in, maybe even faster than the first fight, and the first fight lasted maybe 4 minutes at most. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA. Please let me know what you think down below in the comment section about Jamahal Hill going up to Alex Pereira in this context. You know, I think anyone talking to Alex Pereira in such a negative tone, in such a bad way, especially after Pereira beat you. Yes, I understand the circumstances weren't ideal. Herb Dean stepped in the middle after Jamahal Hill hit the low shot. Jamahal says it's Herb Dean's fault and Pereira ended up catching him. Yes, yes. I understand. But you really got to look at it for the context that Alex Pereira incredibly kept and hit a shot on Jamahal Hill when he wasn't ready. And that was Jamahal Hill's fault for not ultimately staying that focused. I do think that Pereira was going to ultimately get the knockout either way. And I do think that, yes, Jamahal Hill has a great chin, but Alex Pereira is a different beast in the striking department. I think if these two fight yet again, I only think that it's going to be a worse KO. Might not be as fast because I think it's going to be hard to top a 4-minute KO, but possibly in the first or second round that Alex Pereira would be able to go out there and catch Jamahal Hill with something absolutely deadly right to the dome like he did Yuri in his second fight. You know, these two individuals have fought before, like I said, and the tensions are only rising, which is something absolutely crazy because I don't think Jamahal Hill likes Alex Pereira at all. And this might just be something that he's putting on for the cameras rather than his actual personality, but I know for a fact Alex Pereira cannot stand Jamahal Hill. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoy the UFC content. And while you're down there, please turn on the post notifications just so you guys can always be notified about UFC content releasing every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys very soon with more UFC content and news.